Make mine better.
What up, comic fam? It's your boy Vincent McLean, the Comic Machine, and I'm back again with another episode of the Monday Night Jibber Jabber. And I've got a guest, as you can see over here. This is Tyler. He decided he want to hop up and get in on this TMNT talk. So that's what we got going on tonight. We're talking Turtles. It's going to be anything and everything Turtles related, and of course, just any other random stuff that comes about, because that's just kind of how it is. So I got two awesome guests here tonight with me. One of them decided he wanted to lose his voice a little bit, but that's okay. He's here in spirit. Adrian Panda Awesome. I can't talk today. Adrian Panda Awesome was going to be on the show today, but he's sick, but he's in the comments. Thanks for stopping by, Adrian. The other two guests that I have, all right, one of them is, of course, Dustin from Two Brothers Comics, and the other is going to be the most awesome beard in the game, Bearded Comic Bro. Look who I got here today, fellas. What is up?
Ooh. I like that. That was a good intro. Like,
there you go.
You got Dustin from Two Brothers Comic. Like, it's very basic, but then it was like the most awesome game. And what I love is
next time
in the chat,
I'll just write an introduction for him to read for me next time.
What I love is Skeff's in the chat, and you said the most awesome beard in the game, and I know he's going to be commenting.
Yeah, well, I was thinking, like, I don't know, man. You got Skeff and Andy hanging around out there too.
I don't know. Between me, Greg, Skeff, yeah, like the beard game is on point. I actually almost really like took it hella low today because trying to wear a mask and stuff like that just kind of like really screws with everything with like all of that. So I almost did it, but I was like, no, I'm kind of digging it right now. I'm starting to get in fall. It's going to help keep my face nice and warm. So, all right. So, fellas, thanks for stopping by. Appreciate you guys coming on. Greg, it's been a while since you've been on. Yeah. Dustin, you were on the very first show I did. You hopped on while you were fixing your dryer, right? Yeah, you were fixing your dryer, I think.
Dryer, and that was, I believe Greg popped in.
I hopped in on that one too. Yeah.
I think you were there for that too as well. So
all I remember was like Dustin was like carrying his phone at one point. Like, it looked like he was taking us to an outhouse, like out in the fields. Like I was like, "Where are we going, Dustin?"
I think you were still wearing your work shirt and everything too. So
yeah. I just got home from work and was having to fix that damn washing machine, man. It was a dryer. I've probably fixed it 2 more times since then too.
Jesus, so. You need to take that out back and shoot it. I'll tell you what.
Oh, I've picked up 2 or 3 of them earlier this year and literally thrown them off the porch. Carried them out of the house and thrown them off the porch.
Oh man, that's just terrible. So I appreciate you guys coming by and hanging out. And besides you two, Adrian, I couldn't have thought of any better guys to come on and talk about TMNT. We all know the person that we'd all want to talk TMNT, but unfortunately, he's up there actually fighting his own battles with the Foot Clan and everybody else in a more awesome battle. So, with that being said, let's get into it. So, what would you say right now is your go-to book for TMNT? Like, aside from like the big time Grail and stuff like that, but like if you were to like suggest a TMNT book for somebody that wants to get into it, what would you probably go for? Would you put them right off of volume 1? Would you start them with like the IDW series that's going on right now,
or to buy?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Let's talk about like somebody that like kind of knows about TMNT and is like actually interested in trying to learn more about them, because that's usually how that route would probably end up going, right? So like you guys got kids and stuff, right? So you probably have got other parents that might have like a similar like question or anything like that. So what would you suggest?
Well, now you're throwing it in the mix. Am I suggesting it for kids or not?
There you go.
I would go the original volume if you want to get into Turtle.
Yeah, so IDW put out this Ultimate Collection of the Mirage Studios running hardcover, oversized collected edition. This is where I would go because this is where I started.
Right.
And you have all the content here. On top of that, inside here you have at the end of each issue, Eastman and Laird, which I don't know Eastman has any, but they actually have some like notes at the end of each issue. These issues are so long. They're like some of these are like super long, but see, you get the covers here for each one, and then on the last page of each issue, you get 2 full pages here of information, and they'll tell you about little Easter eggs that they put in there. They break down by page, what they were thinking, what was going on in their heads. I mean, they really, you buy these and you can really break down and really pick up on so much information on this original series, where their heads were at when they were creating it, things that they were going to put in and didn't even put in, things that you didn't think about when you were reading it, what they were actually saying. All that's right here in these collected editions. If you can find them for cover price, definitely grab them.
How much is that cover price going?
Cover price $50, which I was able to get this for $50 recently, but these were printed. This one was printed in 2000. I want to say 2015. 2015. So they've been out for a while. I know on eBay they get a little pricey, but definitely be on the lookout for them in your shops. But that's, to me, that's where I would say.
Okay, Greg.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going just for a Turtles fan, I would go. Dustin nailed it on the head right there. Like, that's where I would go. Now, if you're going for kids, because you mentioned, because we both have kids, like I wouldn't start there with kids. I mean, I think I saw Skeff in the chat talked about the old school cartoon. Hit that animated series, the Turtles Adventures. If you're going comics for kids, or as Comics and Death Metal said, just hook them up with a VHS of the old school cartoon. And so,
wow, VHS, damn, brings back memories.
Right? I know people in the chat are going to be they had 4 different VHSs. It was Burger King.
Oh, look at that! Oh my god,
like,
that's awesome!
Right there, these were my jam as a kid. I went to all the freaking Burger Kings to try and get these. This is April Fools. There was a whole bunch of other ones, or 3 other ones, but and you can get those on iTunes and things like that. So I definitely would do the animated series or Turtles. If you want to go cartoon, like go comics, do the Adventures, Turtle Adventures, something like what Dustin's throwing up there.
Yeah, this is a good one too for kids. I found a couple of these literally at the bottom of some long boxes. You can see it's kind of beat up, but at the bottom of the long boxes, and all the other books were sitting on top of it like this.
Oh wow!
And I found 2 of them in there, but I mean, it's real short stories. They are comics, but it's not a whole lot of words.
Okay,
it's really cool, little kid looking art, and so I grabbed both of them. I got them for 50 cents a piece, and these are actually, I didn't think they were worth anything, but they're actually not too bad on eBay. If you have the whole set, I've seen them on there for like $50 or $60, but my kid enjoys, he's 5 and we read this and he really enjoys that.
Nice. Yeah. I wanted to kind of just like bust out the gate with that question, just because like now that I've been starting to really try to get into Turtles, trying to find like a really good story point. For me personally, that would probably be just going from the beginning too as well. But like how much of it from like volume 1 into the Archie series, like, is it just like more graphic? Is it more violent? Like what exactly is it that's like what you would suggest for like just regular readers versus like kids?
I mean, if you go back and read issue 1, it's pretty violent. I mean, that's how, Eastman and Laird did it with their comic. And it's ironic because if you get a chance to, I'm never going to own issue 1. I'm going to just say that straight up, unless it's like a 19th print. Like, I'm never going to own like a dope copy of issue 1.
Yeah.
But I've read issue 1, and you can go out there and read issue 1, whether it's in collector trades and stuff. Man, it's pretty.
One of these, man.
I know. I mean, it's pretty brutal, which is ironic though, because the movie that you're clowning on earlier, and we'll talk about that later, follows it pretty well. You're like, there's some interesting. It's a pretty violent movie that I forgot as a kid in the 90s. But the comics more still.
But yeah. The original Mirage, there was a lot more of adult content all the way around with the language. It was in black and white, but if you were to go back and read like the color classics, you'll see like there was a lot of bloodshed there as well. Yeah, so that one definitely was, and that was the whole reason when the marketing team came to Eastman and Laird when they were talking about doing branching out with toys and then soon to the cartoon. We can't put this in cartoons. We've got to change them. We've got to change there because I mean, even Michelangelo, like The Last Ronin, a lot of people are like, man, I just never would have thought Michelangelo, he's not that guy. Well, The Last Ronin takes place in the Mirage universe, and in the Mirage universe, Michelangelo, he was a badass just as much as Raphael was. He would go out and he would start shit too. He was not the party dude. In the Mirage run, he was just like the rest of them, and that was something that they had to change for the cartoon. So, of course, the Archie comics would soon come out, and they would adapt those same characteristics as the cartoon had in order to, basically just try to piggyback off the popularity of the cartoon and the action figures, which pretty much made this realm non-existent anymore. And now we've continued on with the Archie series and the cartoon style characters. And I think that's why I say, like, if you're looking for if it's someone, it's an adult, and you're looking to really dig into the Turtles, where they came from, and what they're really about, like, man, this is so much better to me, than the Archie stuff, than the IDW stuff. My God, the IDW stuff. I don't know. I mean, I enjoyed Volume 1. I've got the hardcover Volume 1. But now it's like the Teenage Mutant Ninja whatever animal we can come up with next series.
Goodness. Okay. We'll get into that.
So, I mean, I love the original concept, the original idea of what they wanted to do here. And the fact that they had no plan when they finished 1, there was no plan to continue forward. That's why the Shredder didn't make another appearance until issue number 10. They killed him off in the first issue because it's like, well, this is all we're going to get. They had no idea where it was going to happen.
Damn. Look at there. Just busting out Volume 1, number 10. That is definitely on my wish list. So, all right, let me hit at this chat a little bit. So everybody feels.
It just came in the mail.
I was going to say, because we were talking and you were hunting for it.
Damn. Let me hit this chat.
Sitting right here.
Nice.
So I've been waiting all day. I have 2 Turtle books that were supposed to be here on the 20th, but they got pushed back to today. So I'm kind of hoping maybe something's going to drop in like while we do this live stream, but I don't know. One of them's like a pretty big one. Actually,
wait, you get the mail still at 8 o'clock, but you still get mail that late?
Yeah, so like USPS will sometimes run pretty late, so maybe it'll hit today. I don't know. We'll see. I'm hoping it'll get here before Thanksgiving, so USPS doesn't decide to close down for like the next month or whatever. All right, so let me hit up this chat so nobody feels left out. All right, Ruben Guzman was the first one in here. Thanks for stopping by, brother. Adrian, we know you're here, man. Glad to hear that you're getting better. That voice chat you sent us in the chat was pretty Batman sounding.
Bro, he did. He sounded like Christian Bale, right?
Dude, straight up.
Guys, I'm sick, but I'm going to save you right now.
That was hilarious. All right, Comic Burrito, what's up, man? Thanks for stopping by. Steph, yeah, we saw you. Were one of the first people to hit up on my post on Instagram about this. I'm glad you could stop by and hang out.
Steph is the dude.
He'll be the dude if he continues to grow his beard more, because like when he did chop it all off, it looked suspicious. So.
Oh, come on now. Skeff cleaned it all up, man. That dude cleaned it all up.
He did.
And look, people noticed he done hit 35,000 subs now.
Yeah, 35K, bro. It's crazy how much you've been blowing up. He's got awesome
Skeff
stuff
is gonna
going
be
out.
the next dude to just take off and leave us. We'll never see him again.
As long as we keep talking trash to have a better beard, we'll be able to get him onto shows like this and like, hey, hop on this live stream and defend your beard. That's the only way we'll get him.
I'll never talk trash about someone. You want to talk about somebody with a beard? Y'all do not get to talk trash about a beard. This guy right here is the beard.
Oh, I've seen it. I don't know.
There might need to be some type of like actual beard off in the comic book community.
I mean, I don't know if I think his beard still reaches down further than his hair is crazy.
Yeah. Ruben with the beard, definitely. There you go. Repping the Team NT shirts. Y'all, a question. Do you know if they're still doing the Team NT Club shirts or not?
Not the first prints.
Okay.
I call this the first print, but I don't know about the one like Ruben's wearing in his thing here.
Mhm.
I know they were for a minute, and then something happened, and I heard that his sister or his wife was trying to get some going again, but I know there was just a limited amount that they did, so I'm not sure.
Right.
If you're trying to look, Vincent, the best person to reach out to would probably be Rod. Would know more
Right.
than anyone.
Rod's really awesome about hitting me up on Instagram if I need to. So
yeah, so shoot Just Rican a message because he would have the idea of where the links are. Him or Perry would know.
Right. What else, Skeff, you got here? I would start them off with a little school cartoon for kids. Yep, that is definitely that has been said, and I definitely would agree with that. Even though I don't have kids, but I think if I had kids, I still would make them go through and do Volume 1 because it's just where I'd start. But yeah. All right. What are you saying here, Adrian? Are we suggesting for the original Turtles or the 1980s? I don't know. It's just kind of like, I guess it just kind of depended, right? Yes, I know. Okay, look. I know I've got a Dragon Ball shirt. It's not Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Sorry.
Listen, Dustin and I we sent each other private messages in the chat when we hopped on and saw your shirt. Like, do we really want to be on? He's got Dragon Ball Z on.
I mean, Nick wanted to get on, but he's into that goofy stuff.
It's not goofy, guys. Don't be hating. Goodness gracious. Oh my God.
I don't know why you always bring us back. Me, Dustin, and Skeff, we always are just you're like, come on, guys, hop on the show.
Hey,
we give you crap.
You can give me crap. That's fine. I'll take it. Just got a friend who hasn't read anything since the OG Turtles, and last run-in, he was pumped. Yeah, so I was super happy about the last run-in, and at first glance, when I first read it and I was looking at it and just seeing Michelangelo just like taking a beating and just fell off that tower and was just like hella fucked up and just bleeding everywhere, I was like, damn, this is kind of graphic, but it is awesome.
Yeah, go read the original. Go read those original books where that last Ronin. It's not in canon with the original Mirage series, but that is the realm where it is taking place, though.
Gotcha.
And you'll really see those similarities if you go back and read the original stuff. I got a number 1 here. Let me open it and I'll show you a couple panels.
Oh, cool. It's cool to see Nick's in the chat. We know Dustin didn't type that.
Awesome. Look at there. DBZ is one with many zeros better than Team NT, MMPR, period.
Find me a Dragon Ball Z comic book that's worth more than, well, either one of these series that you just dissed. I guarantee you I've got one book. My probably the 10th lowest priced book is worth more than any of the DBZ books. Just saying.
Nick, I'm a big DBZ fan. Obviously, I've got my DBZ robe in the other room that I wore this morning to take out the dog, but I don't know about like better than Team NT overall. I think Team NT is pretty awesome. But I don't think Dragon Ball Z beats Team NT. Sorry,
I almost had to leave that chat when you said you had a Dragon Ball Z robe.
Yeah, I got it for Christmas like a few years ago. It's pretty awesome. All right, Adrian says Eastman and Laird didn't want to change the bandanas to color ones. They knew people could tell the turtles apart because of their weapons. That's interesting. I didn't know about that. It's also interesting that the market has now shifted so much because Volume 1 books are so hard to get, being scarce and everything blowing up, and that the Archie Team NT Adventures #1 is like blown up a lot, but we'll see how long it lasts. We'll see how long it lasts.
Couple months.
I was gonna say I don't really care how long it lasts because I have my one copy. I'm not trying to get more, and I'm not selling mine, so it doesn't bother me.
I've been passing up on that issue for a year now. because it didn't really matter like what condition it was in. It was like a $25, maybe $30 book. And I was like, well, I'm just going to keep looking until I find a nice copy. And I just hadn't found that one copy yet. And then all of a sudden, I saw a guy on Facebook selling it for like almost $100. So I just messaged him and was like, hey, you spelled $30 wrong.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
And he's like, actually, douchebag, did you even think to check eBay and see what it's been selling for this week? And I was like, well, no, let me do that, I guess. And I was like, oh, look at there. I am a douchebag. Okay.
Jeez.
So yeah, I'm sorry, guy. That blows my freaking mind. I had no idea this was going for that much, and it makes no sense at all. But I do apologize. Hope you get the money you're asking for it. But cool. He's like, you want to buy it? Hell no.
Not for $100.
I will buy it when it drops back down to a reasonable price, when everybody stops caring again.
I couldn't believe that the price had skyrocketed so much because like I purchased my Adventures #1 during the Mainframe Comic Con when that was going on.
Mm-hmm.
They had it for sale for $30 and like a near mint minus, very fine plus. It's got some stuff to it. It doesn't look nearly as good as Adrian Panda Awesome's, 9.6 that he got on that. But I got that because it's like I need to build some TMNT in my collection, and that was like it was featured on one of the shops selling. I was like, oh sweet, let me go ahead and grab it.
Yeah. So here, this will give you an idea of how graphic and bloody the original series was. This is the color version for issue #1.
Wait, hold on. Where'd you go? Wait, hold on.
You have to drag me up to your square.
Oh yeah, there we go. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. Wow. Damn. That is hella bloody. Oh, Shredder just got fucked up.
Yeah, you see all the turtles, they're all cut up and bleeding. So, I mean, this is the original idea and the original vision for the turtles. It wasn't the campy pizza guys that you see now, but this stuff right here is what I really dig.
Oh, that's awesome. See, I didn't even really know that. Like,
yeah,
and
I mean, crap. In the first couple pages, they're literally. I mean, that's one thing. I've always said, like, you got the turtles. They've got these weapons, which how Leo never stabs anybody. Raph never stabs anybody, so like their weapons have always seemed useless. But here in this issue, in these issues, like yes, they are literally stabbing and slicing the purple dragon with their weapons. I mean, they're using them for what they were meant to be used for. Right.
I mean, it makes perfect sense. So their vision from the beginning like fits to what they were wanting to do, having ninja turtles. So it makes sense. And then we get the now, idea that they're all hella campy and they just want to, skateboard and eat pizza all the time.
Well, which made for a great show, and it's still something that I love. But it's just it's different, and it's not different in a bad way, but it's just different.
It's the same thing as the Batman. It's just how far the pendulum swings.
Mm-hmm.
When Batman was originally created, he had a gun. Like for the first 10 episodes, he shot people like that. Like he pushed people off roofs. Like it was dark, and then they kind of made it, not as dark but still dark. And then they're trying to get kids involved, and so they're like, "Hey, let's give them a kid sidekick. Then let's swing the pendulum to the 1966 Bam Pow Wow series, right?"
Mm.
And then they swing the pendulum back into the comics of the Neil Adams, Denny O'Neil, where it's a darker route again.
Yeah.
So you see that all the time. And so I think they both have their place. So that's why it just depends on what type of reader you're trying to connect with.
Yeah.
Right. Man, there's a lot of like Dragon Ball Z talk going on in the chat.
We can ignore that.
Lord. Oh, Lord. Oh, my goodness.
So this is a pretty cool issue here I picked up recently. This is the origin of them getting their weapons.
That's pretty sweet.
So this one was a pretty low print run book. This was towards the end of the Archie series, issue 71. But it's got a really cool cover. You got like the baby turtles there, and then at the top, full grown. And
that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I picked that one up just a couple weeks ago, so it's pretty cool.
So
I picked this one up a couple weeks ago.
what you got? What you got? Let's see this here.
You got Donatello and Ernest. I saw it like, is that a crossover?
That's awesome. You got any other new ones, Dustin?
Oh man, I got a ton of stuff in recently. So here's a series that's kind of hard to find, and I'm missing issue 2. This came out around the time of the popularity of the Power Rangers, which is what sparked the horrible live action turtle show. Was the Power Rangers, but this is Shredder creating his own bootleg Power Rangers, basically in this 3-issue miniseries here. And this is kind of like a hard to find series, man. I can't tell you how much I've looked for it and cannot find issue 2, but it's a really, really neat series for sure.
That's interesting. I've never.
So if anybody's got number 2 for this laying around, let me know.
So the newest stuff that I've picked up. So my turtle goal, if I'm not a big run guy, but I'd like to try to get 1 through 10 for the volume 1. So I recently picked up number 5.
You bastard! That's the only one I need.
I got number 7. I've shown this one off before, 22.
Mm-hmm.
And then I found this at Half Price Books the other day, which is pretty nice. And then I've got one of the harder books to find, the last issue in the series, which once I probably run my course of having, sentimental value with that book, might be going to Southern Comic Geek, because that's the only one you need. So I might end up throwing him a bone. You know what I mean? And then Turtles Adventures 1, Turtles Adventures 3 in a newsstand. And then, of course, I had to get the IDW 100. That was one of the first ones I grabbed just because it's the 100th this year, and that seemed pretty cool. And then the other one that I got, of course, you got to have the last run of number 1. If you didn't pick it up, well, you're wrong, because it was amazing. So that's all the turtle stuff that I own.
You also need to still get, I know Dustin has this book. It's one of the dopest turtle covers. 14, the Untouchables, not variant, but the homage to it. And the best thing about these books too, the Mirage, I wish there was a way that they made clear boards, because they're all the early books are wraparound covers, and they're beautiful.
Oh yeah.
You don't even see, I think his Raph's not even on this, isn't it?
He's on the back with April.
Yeah, he's on the back. You can't even see him. He's on the back. So
they make clear backer boards now.
Do they? I need to I literally need to just for the turtle.
You can buy them in packs of 10 for $20. They're really, really nice, sturdy, hard plastic ones. So I got that one. I actually used it on the hunt.
That's how I found out about it. I saw you do it on the hunt. I was like, I've got to have that one. I love the Untouchable movie.
Yeah. That is a good movie. I think I've only seen that movie a couple times, but it's a great movie. I think definitely very underrated Kevin Costner role, and Sean Connery's not secondary. What do they call that? Supporting role. Yeah, didn't he won an Academy Award for that?
That's his only Academy Award he won, was for Best Supporting Actor for that one.
Yeah, so definitely a big one. So, Dustin, have you gotten that number 1 yet?
It'll be here as soon as Nick gets here this week.
You sure? 100%? You're gonna have that number 1 first print? That's a big boy book. Wow.
I will be banging heads up against the wall on the hunt with it Friday night.
Oh man.
And Skeff, you are 100%. I don't know if you're joking or not, but I love the Coming Out of Their Shells tour.
Well, no, he's not. We're not talking about it. I still need to get the DVD, or not the DVD. I need to get the VHS.
I have it. I used to have it. I've watched that thing.
Right.
Oh my God, a million times. But I wouldn't even know where it was now.
What's the condition of the number 1 you're getting?
Oh, it's near mint.
God
yeah,
damn.
it's pretty peachy.
Whew, goodness gracious, boy. That's a dream right there. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, I'm pretty pumped about it, man, for sure. The only thing that sucks is like I just literally yesterday I actually paid the bill for for my books that I sent to the presser to go to CGC. My issue number 1 shattered variant, my first print number 2, first print number 3, first print number 4, Raphael number 1, signed first print, last run in ash can. I just sent all those off to be pressed and cleaned and then go straight to CGC. And now I've got number 1 coming, and I'm like, man, I wished I would have been able to have that go in there with those. Cause I mean, to unbox a CGC unboxing of 1, 2, 3, 4, Raphael number 1, and the last run in ash can. Like, Jesus, could you even ask for a better CGC unboxing? And they're all high grade. I mean,
Well, just sit on them.
yeah.
Yeah, you could do that. I mean,
Yeah,
it'd be a long time to wait, though.
Yeah,
but
because the magazine size ones take forever. I don't expect to get those back until probably March. So
I think he says first print, Adrian.
Mm-mm.
Or is it a third print?
Yeah, it's the third print.
Third print.
Still an expensive ass book.
Whew. Damn.
Like I think they were selling for over $1,000 almost. And 9.0, I think it's like $1,600.
Damn, let me look that up.
Was the last time I looked on eBay, the last sale for a 9.0 third print was like around $1,600, I think.
I'm just excited. I'm gonna be having a 4th print here real soon when I win the grand prize out of Dustin's mystery box. So I'll be really excited. I'll be showing that banger up.
Bro, Dustin, like that's kind of why I sent you like my CLZ list to see if you want to do like a trade or if you wanted to sell anything, because I'd rather do that versus buy a mystery box, just because I'm not a big mystery box guy. And so, but I mean, man,
I'm not either. I opened my first one and recorded it today. Wait till you guys see the video.
Uh-oh.
All right, so check this out. This is what they're going for right now. Third print, over $1,000.
Raw.
Oh my God. That's just crazy. For the third print.
You know, I like it raw.
Like, see, that's my thing. Like, I don't.
Jeez.
Big books, anything that's a big book, I refuse to buy a slab copy. I will literally be stubborn and patient at the same time and sit and wait until I can find a raw copy in the grade that I want, so that I can buy it way cheaper, and then I'll send it in myself to get graded. I mean, I did that with everything behind me except for, of course, the first appearance of Ghost Rider. But everything behind me, I mean, I waited, found it raw, sent it in, got it graded, and you know, it's a lot cheaper to do it that way. But you know, some people like to, but see, that's the other thing. I don't buy online. I prefer to buy in person. That's just how I am, and that way I had the ability to do that. I mean, you can take the chances by doing it online, but you know, that comes with some risk attached to it. So that's my game, though. I mean, like, I'm getting a really, really good deal on this TMNT 1 because I'm buying it from Josh. You know, he's been a friend since I started collecting, Nick's LCS owner. So he's giving me a deal that nobody else would ever be able to get on this book right now on the face of the planet, which I can't believe. But, you know, so I'm pretty much indebted to him forever.
Forever. So here's the next question, because this is going to be a tough one for you here. Okay. So what would you say that TMNT is your ultimate grail versus you getting that Ghost Rider first appearance?
It's hard to say. Like, if there was a fire and I only had to save one, which one would I grab? Is that what you're asking me?
I mean, you could go that far. I mean,
yep, that's what we want to know. We want to know.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Let's hear it.
Like, okay, so it's hard because the Ghost Rider is a 3.5. It hasn't been pressed, so I think it'll get a full grade bump. Now I expect this TMNT number 1 to hit at least a 9.0. So, like, you know, value-wise, like, I would be absolutely ignorant not to grab the TMNT number 1. Now, if they were both priced, if they were both high grades, say okay, just say they were both 9.8s and they were both worth the same amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
I love motorcycles more.
So you would basically grab the Ghost Rider, get on your motorcycle with everybody, and then just dip out.
Yeah. Yep. I think that would be where my Turtles fandom and love would have to stop because yeah, I love motorcycles. I love Harleys. I love riding. I love building them. And Ghost Rider, like, it's just, yeah, that's my dude. So, yeah.
What about you, Greg? A TMNT, like your most valuable TMNT book up against your most valuable Batman book in a fire.
If I had it, like, give me a Batman book that give me a Batman book even. Like, I mean, the problem is I don't have either one that, like, it's a fair. I don't have my Batman Grails yet. So
what would you say? What would you say would be your Batman Grail book at this moment right now? I know they change, all of our Grails and stuff change over time.
Man, honestly, for me, it would be. I don't know if I would have a specific Grail, just because, like, all the Silver Age Batman, the first appearances are affordable Grails still, but they're still expensive. Like, they're obtainable Grails. Let's say that they're obtainable Grails.
Okay.
I know I'm never gonna get anything under the 50s in the Batman. So as I'm trying to collect my Batman collection, I think I'm doing pretty freaking well, if I must say so. I got 422 of the first volume of Batman out of 713. So
damn.
100 of the 1 through 100, because I don't have any under 132 yet, because those are going to be almost $100 books and above, dropping down. So
let's say if you had, Adrian brought up a good one here. Let's say you had Tech 27, okay, and you had TMNT number 1 in a fire. Which one are you grabbing?
No question. I love Turtles. Are you kidding? Anyone with any knowledge of comics, Tech 27, you're ignorant. Like Dustin said, you're ignorant. Like, that's not even a fair, like.
Hey, like, this is Turtle Talk. I'm trying to see where everybody's at with Turtles. We got to put some stuff in here.
Fan here.
I would even say, if you're the biggest Turtle fan, that's ignorant, because you could buy so many much Turtle Grails if you had that Tech 27. So that's why I say it's not fair.
Yeah, I think at that point, like, you really start looking more into the monetary value,
right,
more than the sentimental value. Like, sentimental value would go out the window at that point. Now, if there was a fire and I was going to have to pick between my third print number 1 or any other book behind me besides the Ghost Rider, yeah, I don't know if I would let I'd let the Iron Fist go, because I can buy a better grade in that one. It wouldn't cost me too much, but I would take my Turtles 1 over everything else behind me except Ghost Rider.
Even your Submariner, because you talked about that Submariner as like
that
one super awesome one to have, man.
It is, and as much as I'm glad I have it, like, that is a book that I literally have and am waiting for the right time, and I'm going to sell that book. Like, that's not a book I have a lot of emotional attachment to. I got a really good price on it. I was really digging Submariner at the time, but yeah, that one's going to go at some point anyway. I think after my Ghost Rider, my Iron Fist is my favorite, followed by my Captain America 100.
Makes sense.
If I had to pick like an ultimate grail of all time, it would be Cap 1 all day. Like, there's nothing literally that compares to, in my mind, to a Cap 1. I would take a Cap 1 over a Tech 27. I would take a Cap 1 over an Action 1. I mean, I swear to you up and down, if I had the option, I would put both of those away and take Cap 1 all day. Marvel Comics number 1, don't care. Give me the Cap number 1.
So, but I appreciate your honesty, because now we just know that Nick is the smarter of the brothers. But
oh, goodness gracious, throwing shade.
Hey, just saying.
But here's the deal. That's what's so beautiful.
I separate monetary value and the emotional attachment. That's where I can find that separation, is when it comes to that Captain America #1.
But that's what's awesome about collecting, right? Like, I mean, we bust each other's chops about those books and, you know, even Dragon Ball Z and things like that. But that's the beauty of it, is there's so much that, like, you can't argue with someone because of nostalgia, you know, their love of something, because what it means to them personally.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I have no emotional attachment to a Captain America. So to me, I'm like, that's a ludicrous statement. But, you know, my parents said my first word was Batman. So, I mean, sheesh, I'd take a Punchline book, you know, probably, like Skeff said.
Yeah.
Batman is.
Hellraiser, what has he got here? Hellraiser 3 versus TMNT #1. Like,
I'm not dumb. I would take TMNT 1.
I would take Leonardo #1 over Hellraiser 3.
Yeah, that is definitely something that I wouldn't even try. But you know, it's interesting to kind of like throw those, you know, would you rather, or like for $1 million, would you do this versus this, or, you know, in a fire situation, which one are we going to go after? So it's pretty interesting to hear your guys' opinion on that. I am not a huge Captain America fan, to be honest. Like, I don't know what Captain America book I'd want to have, other than probably the Golden Age, the #1, because it's just like a really cool, very 40s looking book. It just looks really awesome. That Captain America 100, I will say, looks pretty sweet too. I wouldn't mind having that.
That is your next Captain America #1 there.
I actually watched Very Gary's auction last Friday. I think it was Friday. He did the you know, that long ass fucking auction he does for like 7 hours, and they had a Captain America 100 on there up for auction, and I think they sold it for like under 175, which is actually not pretty bad.
Was it?
It's kind of hard to tell. It looked fairly decent. I didn't see a whole bunch of boxing or anything like that.
Had to be under a 4 though.
But I mean, it still looked pretty good. But I hadn't seen one of those, and, you know, just laying around in the wild or anything like that.
That book's like mine's a 7.5, and it's hovering. I think last time I looked, between 400 and 500.
Yeah,
now, Skeff, you're right, dude. Avengers 4. That'll be a book I will have next year, no doubt. Next year, I will have an Avengers 4 before the end of the year. As soon as I recuperate from buying this Turtles #1 and buy a house, all of my undivided attention will be going into finding a good Cap Cap 4. Might as well be Cap 4. Avengers #4, first Silver Age Captain America appearance.
Yeah, that's a big one too. Adrian, what you got here? You saying Ultimate Grail for him is TMNT 1 first print over A15, Tech 27, Action Comics 1. Those characters don't hold candle to for what he feels the attachment for the Turtles. Hey, I think Adrian might be the turtle guy, like emotional, monetary value all the way around off of that statement right there.
Oh yeah. And see, like, I have a different attachment to Captain America. My attachment to Captain America is more, you know, the more I've grown in this hobby and learned about the history of where all this stuff comes from, and you know, you start really developing a passion for the fathers that, you know, of comic books, with Jack Kirby and Stan Lee. I mean, there's no better duo than Jack Kirby on Captain America. You know, it can be, I would say, rivaled by Jack Kirby on Thor, but you know, those old Captain America Jack Kirby covers, man, just, they get me every time, and I love it. And the history behind that Captain America #1, especially the cover. I mean, literally punching Hitler, predating us going to war with Germany. Like, I mean, it's just, it's so wild to think of that, and that they would have that on the cover, and it hadn't even happened yet, but then it does happen years later. It's like, man, that's just, it's historical. You can't beat it, man.
Yeah. Was it, her name is passing me by right now, but she's big on the Instagrams, doing lots of like sales for the Golden Age and stuff like that. Can't remember what her name is, but she's posted like that Captain America #1 on there so many times, and it looks sick.
Yeah, Man Cave bought one recently. And as if I didn't hate him enough already, he bought that, and I was just like, oh. But yeah, I mean, the first book, the first series I ever read, and Skeff brought it up, was Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's the first comic books I ever read. And it was so awesome. So it's like, I and as a kid, I dressed up as turtles for Christmas. I had all the toys. I had the birthday parties. So I always loved them as a kid. Never knew until I started getting into comic books, that the Ninja Turtles started in comic books. And once I figured that out, I'm like, oh, I like comic books now. And like, I've always liked the Ninja Turtles. Like this is awesome. Let me look into this. And, so even like early on, I've always really loved the Turtles and the comics and stuff too. And then I realized, oh man, you've got this Mirage Studio stuff. Like I've got to get some of this stuff and read it and look at the history where this all came from.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now, with me collecting Turtles and reading more and catching up on that. And then with them doing The Last Ronin, which fortunately the number 2 issue got pushed back to late January or something like that. That's kind of a bummer. So kind of like getting like, Mirage 2.0 at this point, I kind of feel like with The Last Ronin. So going back through, trying to find those low print 1 through 10 of original Mirage. That's on my go collect wish list. That's what I'm going for right now. Trying to grab all that. But trying to also kind of find some of those other ones that are kind of popping up that have some value. So like, what's your guys' take on Jenica being the new turtle that's coming through? Like, you guys are far bigger Turtles fans than I am. Like, what's the reason? Is it because it's a chick? Is it because it's a fit turtle? Is it because it's just like a really bad story? Like, what's your guys' take on why it's like super hella bad?
I'll let Dustin speak for him, but for me, I fell in love with the 4 turtles. I'm OG from that way. Like they are the brothers. There's something about their brotherhood that they've grown up, they've been together, they've been through it. It's like when you bring someone onto the team that hasn't been through everything with you, it feels weird. It feels forced. It doesn't feel authentic. And I think that's what makes the relationship of the turtles so great for me is their brotherhood. I could care less if it was that it's a female turtle. I think there's a lot of ways that you can incorporate females into comics and strong female characters and they deserve their place. But for me, don't mess with the original 4 because that's what I fell in love with, and that's where it is just so general. Like that's what I care for. Like that's what I want. You can bring Jenica, that's fine. I could give 2 flips about it. I'm not hunting for them books. But shut up, Burrito.
I mean, it makes sense. I kind of understand like it's the 4 turtles. Like you can't just like put it doesn't fit. Raphael, Donatello, Leonardo, Michelangelo, Jenica. Like it doesn't even like go together. Like they could have at least like tried to put like another like famous Renaissance painter to kind of like maybe try to get in the same thing. But it just, I don't know. And like looking at the prices too for the first appearance of Jenica just skyrocketing through the roof too as well. That just kind of is like, I don't know. Like I don't know enough. That's why I'm just kind of like trying to find out from you guys, like what y'all's like opinion on it, because you guys are just more into turtles than I am. Yeah. And I'm trying to get more into the turtles.
Yeah. And see, that's where Peter Laird was at. When they were talking to the marketing team and they had this team that was trying to take the turtles to the next step after the cartoons, after the movie. Turtles got really flat. And Power Rangers was on top of the freaking world at that time. And what was going on with the Power Rangers? It was a live action series.
Yep.
They were fighting monsters. There was 3 boys. There was 2 girls. Everybody was represented. All ethnicities were represented. And so the marketing team for the Turtles was like, hey, look, this is what Saban's doing over here. And they are absolutely annihilating everything right now. Anything they put that gold diamond or that gold lightning bolt on is selling. We need to adapt some of what they're doing and put it over here into the Turtles. And so they brought it to Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird and said, let's do a live action series. We're going to have some sorry. We're not on Two Brothers Comics.
No, hey, this is the Monday Night Jibber Jabber.
Yes, animatronics on this show. And we're going to add a female to it. And she's going to be a light blue mask. And we're going to call her Venus. And that's going to help make the Turtles more fun for everybody. And I'm not saying that girls didn't like the Power Rangers, but how many little girls do you think really every single time Power Rangers came on are rushing in there and sitting down to watch it? I mean, that's not what made the Power Rangers so big. I mean, who was everybody's favorite crush if you're that age that you love the Power Rangers? Amy Jo Johnson all the way, followed right after by oh my gosh, I can't remember her name from Saved by the Bell. Kelly Kapowski from Saved by the Bell. Like that's your first loves. It was a 90s kid. And Kevin
was right underneath that with Topanga.
Who?
Topanga from Boy Meets World.
Never.
You were never a Boy Meets World fan? Oh man.
Yeah, I never watched that.
My age a little bit. It's a little bit more.
Okay.
It's same. This right after Saved by the Bell, so I don't know. You just didn't hit that train, but
yeah.
I didn't watch any of those shows growing up as I was a kid, but I know who Topanga is and what she looks like. She's a very attractive person. Okay. Yes.
Well, and I think even to Dustin's point, you had Power Rangers had representation of, and I know this is awkward because we got 3 middle-aged white bros talking about representation, but you have
Adrian's in the chat though.
But my
Adrian counts.
Daughters don't look at a turtle and love turtles because there is a female representation of a turtle. She likes it because it's turtle. Now we're talking Wonder Woman. That's a different story. You're talking Captain Marvel. You're talking about actual female characters. Then my daughter sees those and goes, that could be me. That's like, just from those interactions that we have. She doesn't look at a turtle and go, well, I'd like this if there was a female turtle, because she doesn't know better right now. And maybe if she's older, she would, but I felt like that move felt forced because I think Dustin said this. I felt like the executives thought the Power Rangers was clicking for all those reasons. And turtles are animals. Like it's not going to have that same feel of, for me, at least and again, I understand where it sounds awkward. I'm a 35-year-old Caucasian dude talking about, female representation in comics, but
I look at it like this. Even going back to the original conversation between the marketing team and Peter and Kevin. Kevin was all for it. Let's do it. Peter Laird said no, and that's what started that. And that's where that initial divide really started to just completely go off the rails there, because Peter Laird was like, "Look, this is absolutely." What was the word he used? I can't think of the word he used. It happens to me all the time, but it goes against our everything that we started and what this team is supposed to represent. And my thing is like, okay, they're looking at Power Rangers and they're like, yeah, little girls, thank you. Or they're dressing up as Power Rangers, the Pink Ranger. Yeah, because it's a pink costume or it's a yellow costume, head to toe. How many little girls do you think are going to dress up as a big, ugly turtle with a blue bandana? How many little girls are going to go, ooh, mommy, I want the girl Ninja Turtle action figure? No. Little boys are buying those. They're getting those action figures for Christmas. And they're like, I mean, come on. The little boys are dressing up as turtles. How many little girls do you think are going to want to run up and dress up as an ugly Ninja Turtle No, they want to be something pretty,
Or like
your little girl dressed up as a turtle?
She probably would.
Oh, okay. I know my sister, she had a time where she loved Ninja Turtles. She ain't wearing the costumes though. Like she's going to dress up as a,
Yeah.
they're going to want to dress up as Disney princesses,
Or Wonder
Woman,
Woman,
Wonder
or
Woman,
Batwoman, or
female
Batgirl. Like,
superheroes.
they want a strong character,
Right.
strong female character.
And it didn't work then, and now they're doing this whole thing with Jenica, and I'm like, now we have Jenica, we have Alapax, we have some other animal that's joined now. Like, you don't even have to be a turtle anymore to be on the team. And this IDW run is not like I said with this Mirage Studio run, where their weapons were actually usable. Jenica has these freaking Wolverine claws. How does that work? Because they're not running around stabbing people, cutting people's heads off. You mean to tell me she's gonna have a whole fight with these 8-inch Wolverine claws and ain't nobody getting cut or stabbed? Give me a break. No way.
Right. So basically what I'm hearing is, if you want to be a Turtles fan, don't read the current IDW series, because it's not original Team
No,
NG.
that's not what I'm saying, because I've got the volume 1 and I loved it. I loved volume 1.
Okay.
And I'm going to keep buying these hardcovers and reading it until I get to the point where I'm like, all right, I'm not digging this anymore.
Well, that's what I mean for the IDW, not the Mirage Volume 1.
No, even IDW, I've got the
Okay.
volume 1, and,
Okay.
and I enjoyed it, and it's a whole different deal. The Turtles have a completely different origin story. It is in no way, shape, or form anything like the original Mirage run. As far as their origin story, they take a whole new spin on it, and it's still really cool, and I enjoyed it. But at some point, I know I'm going to get to where I'm catching up with what's going on now, and just a little bit that I've read and seen, like, it's just, like, yeah, they just brought Token Razor in, like, that's cool, but I mean, I'm not a fan of and I've had this talk with Jabroni, and I was like, man, am I just like, am I like really a sexist because I'm like ticked off that they've got like Jenica and a fox now, like you don't even have to be a turtle anymore. And he looked at it like, well, it's catching other people's eyes. It's good for the franchise, and as a fan, like I dig that. I'm glad that more people are getting excited about it. And I'm like, I can see from that aspect, yes, but I'm kind of selfish, and I just want it to be something that I want to enjoy and something I like. And I don't like the fact, like, I can deal with Jenica. Okay, fine. But now you don't even have to be a turtle to be on the team. Come on. How does that work? Like they're not even, we don't even have turtles on it. Like, Casey Jones is not considered a part of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. He is a sidekick, basically.
Yeah.
But now, like, you literally have a fox and another animal, which I don't even know what it is. I'd have to pull out one of the issues that just came out, and they're on the Ninja Turtles team. Like, we've killed off Splinter and brought in these female characters that are not even turtles now. And it's like, okay, like, I understand you're trying to bring in more female characters, and that's cool and that's fine. But yeah, like, I don't know. I just don't like the idea of you don't even have to be a turtle now to be on the team. That just changes everything.
What you got, Greg?
Well, I was just gonna, and what's hurting the Turtles is in the current comics right now of IDW is you have limited comic exposure outside of now Last Ronin. You have 2 series. You don't like what someone's doing on you don't like Tom King's run on Batman. Cool. You can go over to Detective Comics. You can go over to the Batman Who Last series. You can go over to Batman and Outsiders, Batman versus Ra's al Ghul, Batman, whatever, Batman versus Superman. You can find a title that will at least suffice, work for you for a while. That's a beauty of, like, when you get to properties of even Superman. You don't like Bendis's run on Superman, you can, or was it Action? You can go to Action Comics and you get and you have a little bit more. But Turtles had, if you were a Turtles fan, you got IDW run. You don't have those new comics coming in. And so the problem that you run into is you're going to not be able to sustain that. I think from that, you can sustain it from the name in and of itself. Turtles will always have comics because it's Turtles. But you're going to have issues with, like, you have Dustin, who's one of the biggest Turtles fans. I love Turtles because that's what I was as a kid. I'm not picking up the IDW run right now just because it's not for me. And I'm not saying every comic has to be for me, but the beauty of something like Batman is if there's a run that's not for me, there's something else that's out there that I can go to. And until Last Ronin came around, we didn't have something as Turtle fans that we could say, if I'm not digging IDW, you just have to talk about how you're a big Turtle fan and then say I'm not reading anything that's coming out currently right now.
Right.
Yeah, my LCS owner didn't even know that I was like a real big Turtles fan for a long time. He's like, well, you don't even have it on your pull list. I'm like, well, yeah, I know. That's, and that's how it comes off. It's like, oh, well, I didn't know you didn't have it on your pull list. It's like, well, I'm not going to pull something and collect a series that I'm not really into. Now I've got some of the current IDW run. Some of the Eastman covers, just if I'll do cover buys, or I bought the most recent one because I heard Toka and Razor showed up. So I was like, all right, well, let me see what that was about. Yeah, I've bought that.
I almost picked that up, but unfortunately, every single cover that came in had like this giant looking like flap hanging off of the corner. I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. But speaking of Turtles, guys, look who decided they wanted to show up.
Man, I heard a lot of opinions about Turtles and just had to show up, man. What's been going on, guys?
How's it going?
We haven't led you astray too much. We've represented well for you.
You did well. You did well.
So, Jason, thanks for coming on. How did your debate go? Did you win? Did you lose?
It was totally rigged. I did not concede yet. The electoral
Time out. You had to defend Bishop, right?
Yeah, I was Bishop. Yeah.
So
Steve's been.
I don't even need to watch the debate. I know that you lost just because you had to go against Darkseid.
Yeah, every time Steve goes in there, man, he's like going in there, with a freaking tank against whoever his opponent is with a slingshot, because he's got Darkseid every time.
I opted for the pity vote. And I went for the pity vote. I went for the conscience vote. I went for everything. I had celebrity endorsements. I had Vin Diesel. He decided he wanted to join for me.
You didn't have Go Collect write a letter?
Turtles.
That's where you messed up. You should have Go Collect write a letter, man.
I even had Batman.
Oh, goodness.
But alas, it was a losing fight. Lost by 9 votes. I only lost by 9 votes.
Man. That's awesome. Well, thanks for
not going in and voting for you.
Voted.
We were going here. If you'd have lost by 1, I would have felt bad.
30-something people. So it was the highest voted turnout that he's ever had. So,
oh, right on.
Awesome. Well, thanks for stopping by. Dustin was like, bro, if we need to get more Turtles people, since Adrian lost his voice, we need to get Jason on from Southern Comic Geek. So send you an invite. Coming in and hanging out. We're talking some controversy with Jenica and stuff like that, and they've pretty much like put their opinion out there. I don't really have too much of an opinion as far as having like another turtle added, because to me, my whole thing with the Turtles is about family and honor, and that was like always the big thing, because you had brothers, like they're going to fight, they're going to get along, they're going to go through trials and tribulations, they're going to be able to bounce off of each other and pick each other back up. And for me, I don't have any brothers, so like I got a lot of family from that, a lot of love and compassion. So like with adding different characters, new characters to the team, as Dustin puts it, just like they don't even have to be turtles, they're just on the turtle team. So there's not like a whole bunch of like, I don't have like that conflict like a lot of you guys have. What's your take on it, Jason?
So, what they did was, like y'all done talked about, not really unprecedented. They're trying to, get an extra reader or two on the other side. Marvel's done it plenty of times. Even the old cartoons, you had He-Man, got She-Ra, right? But the difference I feel when people have done it right is when they said, okay, yes, this new character has a connection to the old characters, but from there on out, it's making a name for itself. With Jenica, it is totally she's still leaning totally on the old Turtles name. I don't feel like, and maybe I'm totally wrong, that or her or some of the other characters have all of a sudden got this huge fan base that if the Turtles were not there, people would still follow her. I just don't think that's the case. You think about Marvel, they've done it right with Miles Morales, right? Spider-Man, people have bought into the character. So if Peter Parker's not even in the picture, people are still liking Miles. Okay. But exactly. But is it the same feeling for Totally Awesome Hulk? Amadeus Cho? Do people like him as much as they do Bruce Banner? I don't think so.
I'm Harry.
Kamala Khan is another character like that, right? So, she made a name for herself. Like y'all were saying, it's just so forced, and these comic creators would be better served to play to their base than ignoring their base before they get a new base.
I have an idea. Do you think with saying that, do you think it would have probably been a better idea to bring that to the community, like how they did with whether or not they wanted to keep Jason Todd as Robin or kill him off? Do you think if maybe they brought that out more into the world and see what everybody had to say, kind of get like a little petri dish test going on?
So quick. He would have been touted so quick out of there.
Do you think if they like did that, but like left room for suggestion because they want to expand more in the universe and bring other characters that could be, prominent or, just added to the team in some form of fashion? Because the only other person that really had any like team connection, like Dustin said, was Casey Jones, and he's not really on the Turtle team. He's just a one-off sidekick kind of guy. So do you think that would have been like a pretty good idea? Maybe they could have tried back in the day, or even now to have a better idea of how they want to continue on with the characters and the stories.
Yeah, well, hopefully they'll get an idea if the Jenica series, because now they're on their second Jenica miniseries. Hopefully they'll get the idea if the sales aren't there to kind of move on, or they'll split it off and go, okay, Jenica's going to lead this female-led team over here, and
Miss Captain Frog Legs.
Yeah.
What in God's name were they thinking when they?
Oh yeah, who drew that?
A 4-year-old.
Looks like Peach Momoko or something.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that the other day, and I was like, "Oh, dude, like that looks weird." But
I mean, you brought it up, Jason. So, Dustin, how do you feel about that Peach Momoko that's coming out for Turtles in the mystery mail call?
So I accidentally forgot to cancel my subscription, and it came out today, and I literally told my wife, "It's all right, babe. It's Peach Momoko and it's Turtles. There is no chance on this planet I will keep that book, but there is a ton of chances that there are tons of people on eBay that will love that book. So I will get my money back because I will not keep that atrocity. I did not like the first one even a little bit. So
the last Ronin cover?
No, I didn't like her last Ronin cover. I didn't like her TMNT 100 cover. No, the only cover she's ever done that I liked was that Darth Vader one, and that's it. But
for me, I don't like go for Peach Momoko variants or anything like that. Just me personally. I think it's because of her color palette. I don't think it's like she's got too much like bright colors, especially on the turtle one that just came out for the mystery mail call.
Oh,
I don't like the colors. That's what it is for me. If it doesn't pop and grab my attention, I'm not getting it.
Going back to the gym.
I don't have a disdain for as much as Dustin does. I'm also not actively seeking. I think the only big boy Peach Momoko book that I bought is the Star Wars one with the Rey on the cover. And I know you're not even a Star Wars guy, so that means nothing to you.
I like Space Wars.
I mean,
Darth Vader. I like it.
But the Rey cover, it looks sweet to me, and my daughter's middle name's Ray because of Ray, so like I had to.
Hey, Ray's a good middle name.
It is.
That's mine.
See?
Oh Lord.
It's probably spelled differently.
It is.
Middle name.
So my middle name is Ray. My daughter's name is Ray, Rhea. My brother's middle name is Wray, and my father's middle name is Wray. So yeah.
Oh, so Panda's even on the train. Like nobody likes that cover. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean that Power Ranger one that's coming my way, dude. That thing was fire. I loved it. I mean,
Yeah, I liked it. I was well.
Which one?
I'm not gonna spoil the video. I'm not gonna spoil the video. I recorded.
I thought it was. That's the only reason I still stay signed up for it. Was that Power Ranger one? I thought it was a nice cover. However, I did not realize until today, and I know they were taking it out a month in advance. Are they still doing it that way, Dustin?
Yeah, so like next month's came out of my account today.
You can email Tom, and they will refund you if you don't want it.
Oh, okay. Well, I may do that then.
Because I did that several months ago, and I was like, man, I'm just out, and they said, yeah, that's fine, and they refunded.
So the speaking of variant covers, the only other variant cover I'd like to get of The Last Ronin would be the Albedo homage. Have you guys seen that cover?
Probably have. I don't know which one it is.
I'm sure it has. I just don't remember. I haven't memorized the names.
I can't wait.
I know you. I know McLean the Comic Machine's got that on the computer. Pull that share screen.
I'm pulling it up. Hold
This one came in today.
I should have that one here soon, hopefully from Simpleman's. But
Yeah,
I got that Miko Suyon coming.
that was nice.
For me, the black and white with the red bandana.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm pumped about that one.
All right, here you go.
Did you see that one that I bought? That one that Squatchy drew?
Yeah, that looked cool, man.
This one right here.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, it's the Yusaki Yojimbo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Albedo homage. This sucker is going for $150. Good Lord.
I seen one where the person did a remark and had Yusaki in the background.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Going back to the Jenica thing, something I trying to think of how to say this without sounding a way I don't want to sound, but
I'm gonna go off screen then.
I go off screen, off the show. I'm sure if Nick's still watching, he's literally sweating bullets right now.
I mean, don't say anything that's gonna like.
I would just be curious to know.
Dustin, there's 2 people watching. You're fine.
I would be curious to know, since Jenica has been introduced into the whole Turtles thing, into the fold, and obviously that was done. You know, they want to try to bring in another audience here. We want to get more female readers in. I would just be interested to know, did that work? Did it work? Is that the reason why you brought it in, or did you bring her in because you felt pressured from, outside sources who were attacking the brand on why aren't you including more females here? Yeah. And the people that would do that, are they even buying these books? Is this something they're reading or they care about? Or are they just going around and searching for things to attack and say, well, you're not doing this, why not? And then, okay, well, we're going to do this now because, we don't want to catch the backlash. Well, think about the backlash from the people who've been supporting this series, this franchise for years and years. Like, if you're going to do it, at least make it good. I mean, I would just be interested to know if this has changed the sales, if there are more females picking this series up, because I pay attention to a lot of YouTube channels. I don't always comment. I don't always, talk about, but I mean, I pay attention to a lot of YouTube channels, and I watch a lot of females who read comic books, collect comic books, talk about comic books. I don't hear a lot of Jenica talk from them. So I'm just, that's my thing. Like, did you do it because you genuinely thought it was a good idea, or did you do it to try to, avoid backlash for not having the proper female representation on the team, and if you did it because you wanted to try to bring in that other side, the more of the female readers, did it work? And if not, then can we just get rid of them and bring it back to the 4 Turtles? Come on.
Well, I understand evolution, right? Eventually things have to grow and all that kind of stuff. I mean, they added fantasy. They added, various characters along the way. I mean, I get it. But reality is that largely the Turtles base is a nostalgic kick. I mean, and the reason why we like it is because we grew up watching it. And so I was talking to Guy Gilchrist, who is one of the artists that did the original Turtles cartoon. He also was called Jim Henson's cartoonist because he did the Muppet Babies and stuff like that.
Nick doesn't know who he is.
Yeah, that's true. He didn't. So Guy Gilchrist said that he described the Turtles as Bonanza, right? You had the old guy who has all these sons, and he kind of herds them in. It's a big family deal, and that's basically Splinter and the four guys. If you change that basic core dynamic, you've changed everything. So while the book and the team has to evolve, maybe Splinter does die. But is the answer to insert another turtle, or is it another supporting member that's as strong as Casey Jones? Right?
That's what I was actually about to say. Like, I feel like based on what you guys have been saying and how Jennika was brought in, it would have made more sense for her to come in as a supporting character like Casey Jones and be more like in that realm with Casey Jones, like how Raphael was with Casey Jones at the beginning, and they had that relationship. But it sounds like from what you guys said is they literally just shoved her in there to fill the void of Splinter being dead, and stuff like that, which it seems like a not super well thought through process. And, just like Dustin said, like I watch a lot of YouTubers, I watch a lot of comic stuff, and I haven't seen any other YouTubers say really anything positive about Jennika and her being, dropped into the universe, female, male, or anybody else. Like, I haven't seen anything positive about Jennika. So I almost kind of think like it probably would have been more beneficial for them to have more characters, female characters, whoever else, but in the supporting role, like you said, versus just, we have a gap here. Splinter's dead. Let's just take like a Jackson Pollock painting and we're just going to fling some stuff over there and hopefully it'll stick, because everything else is kind of like that's how it is.
Well, and we're living in such a feelings on your shoulder society that people can't just have honest conversation and say, I just don't like it. If it's for you, great, but I don't like you changed my Turtles. Okay. And, and without people going, oh, you don't like it because she's a woman, you must be a sexist or something. No, it's not, has nothing to do with it. If it was another guy turtle, I would still feel the same way, because it's the four bros and that's it.
Yeah, I agree.
So I
think
just looked it up. This is the conversation that I had with Edwin about it, and it was right after Alapex got a bandana, and I was asking him like am I crazy? Like do I just have the wrong mindset? Am I just the old guy hollering at kids to get off the lawn? Like, tell me what you think. And he said, I don't like Alapex getting a bandana, but Jennika is cool to me. I liked what her story, I like how her story's going, and sometimes we need to change the status quo in order for something to evolve and stay relevant. And I can understand that. I'm a fan of wrestling too.
Did you watch Survivor Series last night?
I did. It was disappointing.
I saw like a few snippets of it, and I went back to playing Call of Duty basically. So
I haven't watched wrestling in probably 5 years, but I wanted to watch the Taker thing, and that was actually where I was going. With wrestlers, you look at guys like Undertaker and even Chris Jericho, guys who have been relevant and on top for years consistently. They're constantly able to change, adapt, and keep their characters relevant by making enough of a change to make you stay interested, but keeping the core elements that made them as popular as they were always there at the core. And I think that's what they were trying to do here, but I think they missed that, keeping the core elements of what made it such a great franchise. And now it's just gotten to the point where it's like you fill out an application, you can be on the team.
Yeah.
I mean, Jenica
So-
started as a human, and they had to change her to keep her alive. Now she's a turtle that wears pants. I still don't understand why she has to wear pants. Like, you're a turtle now, right? Even Venus didn't wear pants. And then now you've got Alapex and this other character that have come on too, and it's just like, you know, again, you're completely changing the core of what this franchise means to people like us who love it from the old video games, who love it from the movie, from the cartoons. You know, and it's like, we're the ones that are buying your books. We're the ones that are talking about your books. We're the one that is keeping your franchise alive, not the people you're trying to please by bringing these new characters in.
Yeah. So basically, just to make sure we're all on the same page, the evolution of comics and specifically Turtles is something that's just going to happen. It has to happen. It has to be able to stay relevant, and it has to be willing to change and add new and better different things, or with the potential of being better, right? So it's not the fact that we have this character that came in to the universe. It's how the character was brought in and presented as, this is now the official status quo, where Jenica is a turtle added to the original 4, and that's how it's going to be from here on out, which doesn't make sense to anybody. And it has nothing to do with who that character is, what that character is. It's the fact that it just doesn't make sense. And
stuff needs to evolve all the time. It just is whether that evolution is good or not. So I do want to say, I noticed in Dustin's sound, but the only thing I took from that is that he's just upset that the female character is not wearing pants. Is actually wearing pants. He wants.
Well, that was just another thing. Like
Dustin's just sexist in that way. Like, he wants to make sure the female turtle doesn't have pants on because he's dirty.
Yeah, it's his male privilege.
That's literally the take I got, Dustin.
I mean, it's like, you know, you put pants on her, you give her this ridiculous weapons that are absolutely useless. You know, with the way that the turtles fight in the series and all. It's like, there's tons of other ways. Like, I understand we cannot have 50 years of Leonardo, Raphael, Michelangelo, and Donatello fighting the Foot Clan and Shredder. Like, that's not going to work. Right. When's the last time they made a big deal with? But at the same time, like, you look at Batman. As bad as people say they're sick of the Joker, when does Batman usually get the most credit in storylines? It's when it's the Joker.
Yeah.
You know, when's the last time they did a big Riddler storyline, a big Scarecrow storyline, Penguin, all these other characters, and then they bring in new characters and new villains. And what happens? DC decides, oh, you know what? We're going to cancel everything and start over next year after this horrible future state stuff. So it's like, you know, they could have, they're bringing in Toka and Razor now. Well, that right there could be a big thing. You know, that could keep it fresh. You know, they had Shredder's granddaughter come in. Well, I guess in the IDW run, it's his daughter. You know, and she could have been a formidable opponent. There's other ways to go about it with villains and other characters to keep the series fresh. You know, in Batman, they don't just decide, you know what? Detective Comics, we're going to turn Batman into a completely another, like, it's not going to be Bruce Wayne anymore. For the next 150 issues, we're getting rid of Bruce Wayne. It's going to be this person's going to be Batman. Like, why don't they do that? Because it's Batman. Bruce Wayne is Batman. Batman is Batman is Batman is Bruce Wayne is Batman. And you're not going to change that. You're not going to mess with that because he's the franchise. So why is it that because I don't want my turtles to go that route, I'm a bad guy? Like, that's the part that aggravates me. It's like, you know, Superman is Kent Clark. Batman is Bruce Wayne. Spider-Man is Peter Parker. I like Miles better, but those are two different characters altogether, though. Those are still two different characters altogether. You know, and it's the same thing with the Turtles, you know. I mean, I'm not reading Power Rangers anymore. I don't like the fact that they brought this Matt dude in and made him the Green Power Ranger. Like that pisses me off too.
I don't read Power Rangers. I don't even know.
Well, I'm just using it as another, he's a dude. He's the Green Ranger, and it still pisses me off. Like I'm not a person that enjoys change.
You like the original leader of the Power Rangers.
You
like the original leader of the Power Rangers.
Yeah, Jason.
Sort of.
And I talked to him and I asked him and he told me and he gave the answer. So I win. I have video evidence.
I don't want to belabor the point about pants, but I had to do a double check here. So in the Daniel Tiger cartoon, because I watched it with my kid, Daniel Tiger and the dad both don't wear pants. The mom wears the shirt and pants in the cartoon. So there is something. I wonder if there is something about cartoons. Female characters out there wearing pants.
Venus didn't wear pants. So that
I don't know why they didn't go full frontal like Winnie the Pooh, man.
Hey, Jason, your comment though earlier, Jason, that's why I went dark. I had out.
That's cool.
Wow.
That was Guy Gilchrist that did that sketch and signed it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Jason, since you're here, just to show you proof, I do have it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is going to be coming your way here pretty soon. My sentimental value in attachment to this book is starting to dissipate even more and more.
So I'm assuming Vincent, you don't probably have that you don't have it or didn't check it out because you said you're trying to get into Turtles. Did you, Jason or Dustin? Did you guys ever read Drawing Blood by Kevin Eastman?
No,
I don't even know what that is.
So I grabbed those two. So it was a series done by Kevin Eastman. It was done on Kickstarter. And Ben Bishop, I think he does artwork on Turtles too. But so it basically is like, it is a autobiography of like Kevin Eastman but it's not Kevin Eastman's. So, but what they do is they do they call them the radically rearranged Ronin ragdolls. So they're
I think I've heard of that, but also at my Half Price Books, there's been this Kevin Eastman other book in there that's like very like Mirage looking with the same title and stuff. And I don't think it's ragdolls, but it looks like something similar to that.
Hamsters?
No, it's not the hamsters. There's something else. It's that one. It's that exact cover.
So what they did was, so they did a Kickstarter. It was a 4-issue series. You can probably find it pretty affordable on eBay. And they did this kind of like, it's like telling like of kind of Kevin Eastman, but the same kind of thing. Like, you're turning our cats into aliens now, and like dealing with fanboys at cons and stuff, and all of this jazz. And then they did and his was the radically rearranged Ronin Ragdolls was his, rather than just calling it straight up the Turtles. And what they did then was they made, this is literally like an issue 1 of TMNT that they drew and did it with just those characters. It's a pretty, so like, it's just as a fun, like kind of like,
is it like a parody?
Yeah. I mean, it'd be a parody. It literally is the same thing, but it just is kind of like paying tribute to it. It's in the mix of the story that they're telling of the Drawing Blood from Kevin Eastman. It just is, they're not using turtle property, but they're using something different. And they did that homage to it. And it's pretty fun to just have as a turtle fan.
So I don't know if you noticed this, but Drawing Blood #1, the dude doesn't have any pants either. So
right?
since we're on this,
this is what happens when Laird is not involved. We have characters with no pants.
Sorry, I'm having trouble understanding right now. Please try later.
Oh, goodness gracious.
That's Alexa creeping on me.
The wraparound for this is got Bone Ugly on the back, which is this headless motorcycle guy. So freaking awesome.
Oh, look at that.
So much like gnarly muscle car, just madness going on. I mean, that's the back cover. Like I said, you got the front cover. I mean, look at this hot rod that Raph and Casey Jones are on. I mean, that's one of my favorite covers. I mean,
which issue is that?
30.
Oh, 30. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's just gnarly, man. Gnarly.
That looks pretty sweet. I I really want to do issue 1 through 10. I'm not trying to like get a full run, but I do definitely find myself drawn more to try and get all of the books of the original Mirage Volume 1 because they just look really cool.
Mhm.
All of them do.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have the full run finished. No doubt
all
this
the
time
old,
next year.
all the old Mirage books like Prime Slime Tales. I mean, yeah, it was just fun covers. Like this guy over on the other side, he looks like Battletoads, which was really a Turtles knockoff.
Battletoads was my jam.
It was like they were bantering back and forth, on okay, well, if you're gonna make fun of my people, I'm at least gonna get something out of making fun of my own people.
They had Battletoad in that new Killer Instinct game for Xbox that came out years ago.
Dude, Dustin, speaking of Killer Instinct, I was looking on Steam the other day. They had I play PC games, in case that didn't tell you already off the bat, but they had a fighting game sale going on. I don't remember what was the overall publisher that was doing it, but they had Killer Instinct on there. Now, I had never played Killer Instinct as a kid. That was not my jam. I played Mortal Kombat, Marvel's Capcom. That was kind of like where I started at. But I watched some of the gameplay from Killer Instinct, and that was dope as hell. And like the announcer sounded really cool, although it was like trying to sound like Mortal Kombat. I was like, yeah, it's kind of,
Yeah, I loved both. Like I have a hard time separating my love for either one of them, man. And Killer Instinct has some awesome comic covers. I've only been able to grab one so far. Because I hate buying online, but that seems like it's gonna be the only way I'm gonna get them. But yeah. It was really, really cool.
Yeah. I like Mortal Kombat. I don't like it enough to try to get comic books, unfortunately.
I have every single one of them ever printed almost.
Yeah, I know you told us last week. And then the thing that I liked most about Mortal Kombat though is before Machinima got shut down on YouTube, they were doing like these short movies where they actually had like super in-depth and like hella graphic like fights and like showing off the characters and like kind of their origins and stuff like that. Like they brought Michael J. White in to do Jax and stuff. Like it was sick. I will send you the link to check it out because if I can find the original videos again, because they were like 8 to like 15-minute long stories. They did the entire one between Scorpion and Sub-Zero. Kind of showed that whole issue that they had and how that all started, and seeing Scorpion's like milky white eyes, like when he's getting interrogated by Jax and stuff. Dude, it was sick. It was dope.
I can't wait for the new movie to come out.
So isn't there supposed to be a new TMNT movie coming out too as well? Part of the reason why everything is kind of getting jacked up in price?
No, it's not big. The original guys who did the first movie, about a month ago, they were talking on that old Turtle Den about the 30th anniversary coming up and the fact that they were going to be playing it in theaters everywhere, but then everything happened and it all got screwed up. So now it's select theaters, but they were talking about the fact that they would love to be able to do a direct sequel to the first one, because the second one really wasn't a direct. It was a sequel, but it wasn't a direct sequel to what happens now. And they weren't a part of that one. So they really want to be able to do full animatronics and everything and pick up from the first one and go from there. Because if you'll notice the second one, like you had nowhere near that. It was almost like going from Mirage Studios comics to the Adventures comics was the way those two went. And they really wanted to continue that story and that whole feel, that more adult, more dark vibe where they pulled all that, because everything in that first movie was pulled from TMNT #1 and Raphael #1. Every bit of it. And they wanted to continue down that road. And again, marketing dictated like, we should probably make this more suitable for the kids. And so that was where all that came from.
Wait, Dustin, are you saying that it's not suitable for the kids in Turtle 1 where Casey Jones is like, oops?
My 5-year-old was in the theater with me jumping up and down, watching and loving that movie, and that was not the first time he's seen it. My 5-year-old, I think my kid was 3 the first time I let him watch Mortal Kombat.
Like the original Mortal Kombat?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
We're NFG out here, man.
I'm not letting Dustin babysit my kids. That's cool.
Yeah. We're NFG out here, man.
But it is funny though to think like, I mean, I know I saw that probably at the same age as your kid, and I didn't think anything of it. It's now when I'm watching it now as an adult, like going like, he literally straight up killed the guy by crushing him in a compactor. Now I know that he didn't die.
Well, not even that. Think about the headquarters where the Foot Clan had, and they had that like party scene going on, and you literally got children smoking cigars and cigarettes and drinking beer.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm telling my wife, like, there's no way they could get away with this nowadays. Like, they would be crucified for even thinking about it. Do you think like of course those kids probably were not underage. They might have been. I don't know. It was 89, but even so, like they would not, you can't even have the cigarette bubble gum anymore. So like there's no way that would be able to, I think it's at this point, like 30 years after that movie, when we watched it the first time, we didn't think anything of it. Now we've been conditioned to be like, dude.
Yeah. So
No
I literally watched the original 89. I watched TMNT #1 today.
You don't get to talk about it.
Can you do me a favor, Vincent? Can you just can you read your quote that you sent to me and Dustin about that movie?
Sure. I can read the quote. The chat's been deleted. Ah, crap. But anyways,
Funny how that happens. Good thing I screenshot it though. Here we go. I got it.
So this is what I said. I said I totally forgot how amazing and absolutely cheesy the 90s TMNT movie is, because it is. Like compared to like what we got now versus like then, like all those movies are hella cheesy.
Wait, time out.
What?
Wait, time out. Compared to what we got now? Or are you talking about the new Turtles that we got now? Because I'm not probably in this camp that I don't like it, but you can't say that the new Turtles isn't cheesy as well. They're literally riding up in an elevator going.
That's what I mean. Like it's like hella fucking cheesy. Okay. But what the thing that I love the most about that movie is how dark it actually ended up being, like at the time and even still today. Because just like how you guys were talking about when they were in the warehouse, the Foot Clan's like base and everything, and I was like watching that and I was thinking, it was like, man, like they're like, there's like, this is supposed to be kids like stealing shit and smoking and drinking beer. I was like, man, that's kind of like, whew.
Casey Jones' character.
Yeah,
that
like
would not fly today.
Like Casey Jones and April O'Neil's interaction and everything. I was like, what? I was like, really? Yeah, like
this.
Yeah, just like very not how today's movies are made to be kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
I want to distract from the point though. So what was cheesy about it then, Vincent?
It just like, and maybe cheesy wasn't the right word, just like goofy, like how the Turtles like were being like goofy and stuff, but like it was still very dark, like the overall tone of the movie.
How they're being teenage brothers.
Yes, that's what I mean. And just like being funky and goofy and cheesy and goofy, like that's what I mean. So like I will say everything in the original movie was way better than that elevator scene in the Michael Bay movie. Like that entire movie is like so much better.
Did you say that this is the first time you had ever watched it today?
No.
Oh.
It's not the first time I watched it. It's been a very long time since I've seen the original TMNT movie. And ever since Dustin was like, man, I'm going to go watch this in theaters. Like since then I was like, okay, I need to sit down and actually watch the movie again because it's been a while. And I think the most iconic things I remember from the original TMNT movie was when you first meet Shredder and you see homeboy lift his shoulder pads off and you see his spikes coming off and then you see the Shredder's like voice in his face and just being really ominous. And then of course, Casey Jones with all of his gear and then crushing Shredder in the garbage truck. Like those are like the biggest points in that movie that I remembered. I was like very nostalgic. It was awesome.
What I love about those movies though, again, Skeff, I use that to just illustrate the cheesiness. I actually don't hate the new movies. I'm probably in the minority of like
It's just
They're okay. They're okay.
It's just different.
It's different. They're
you
fine.
can't compare it to the originals, and that's the way that I've always looked at it. Like it's in its own realm. So like you can pick it apart and find things that are bad. I loved how Raphael was still portrayed as like I think he was portrayed even more of like that super badass in the Michael movies than he was before. I mean, like, oh, my shell's cracked, tape it up, and then he just jumps back out there and gets back into, I mean, I definitely think that it has its place in its own realm, and it's not fair to compare that to the originals because one, the nostalgia factor, it's completely different. The fact that the original was pulled from the original comic books and taken from the original content that they were created in. So, I mean, I don't think it's a fair thing to compare them the way people do sometimes. But I don't hate them either. I mean, my kid wanted to watch them recently, and we watched them. I watched them with him, and I'm like, they're not bad movies. It's just a different take.
Different. And I mean, come on, you're talking about the BA-ness of freaking Raphael. That rooftop scene in the first movie.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, like he was literally taking all the Foot Clan on by himself, and everybody's like, nah, it's just normal. He just does that.
Yep. And
then when he finally gets his shit kicked in and he comes crashing through, April's roof, then they're like, oh shit, maybe it's time for us to actually step up,
I do love about that. I love how the people who were in the animatronic suits got to have their cameos as actual actors in the movies too. Like that was really cool.
I didn't know that. That's pretty sweet.
So so when Raphael hops over to the taxi cab, I think like that is the actor in it is Raphael or something who's actually in it. So all four of the actors, not the voice actors, but the people who were in the suits were actually like wasn't one the pizza guy? I don't even remember.
So the guy that wore Donatello's suit was Kino in the second movie.
Yes.
The pizza delivery kid. And he was actually at the Huntsville Comic-Con. Mm-hmm. And I didn't get to talk to him, but I wanted to, but I didn't get to. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think going back through and watching that movie today was
Ernie Reyes.
That was a big old, dive back into, 80s, 90s. Like that was pretty sweet. I don't watch a whole bunch of the original movies from back in the day, but that was pretty awesome.
But think about though, that tells you right there, the Turtles are a good example of what good of a franchise idea that was. And of course, Peter Laird and Kevin Eastman had no idea when they did it. But so think about the timing on that. That movie, of course, took the original source material from the Mirage, but at that time, they were riding the wave of the cartoon, right? Which was a total departure of everything in Mirage. So you have all these kids crowding to see, like I was, crowding into a theater to see the movie and go, these are my Turtles, but they're a little bit rougher around the edges than what I'm used to. And yet we were still okay with it.
Yeah.
Still dug it. So
I think that's part of the reason why like I'm super, super stoked about The Last Ronin and seeing how much more this is going to dive into and find out what the hell happened to the other brothers. Cause like it's hard because like you're in the first book that we read, Michelangelo is talking to himself, but talking to his brothers. And it's just like, the dude is just beat to shit and he's just torn apart. And like it got really serious and got real dark real quick in that book. And I'm really excited to see, what Eastman and Laird are going to do with this and see where it's going to go from here. So
yeah, I'm going to do a Last Ronin issue number 2 video here pretty soon. I've got some ideas and thoughts that about what's going to be happening in the second issue. So I'm going to do that pretty soon, but it's going to be good. And
right.
All 5 issues are going to be fantastic. And some people are kind of upset because it's going to be it's not going to be a monthly release on it. That wasn't the original intentions. Changing the artist, of course, that put a wrench into things, but I think I like the idea of it dragging out a little bit.
Mhm.
because it keeps it like, I don't know, it keeps me in extreme suspense. I mean, I bet I've read the last Ronin issue #1 8-9 times now.
Yeah.
So,
That's impressive.
oh, I loved it, man. And you pick up on like little things here and there, and like little things you didn't catch the first time. Like there's one of the covers that I actually saw recently in person at my buddy Sean's, and I don't remember which cover it was, but it was the blue sewer cover that almost looked like a mirage to the old it looked like the old Mirage Studios wraparounds. And when you look at the back of the cover, in there you've got the Mousers are in the sewer, the Foot Clan's in the sewer, Bebop and Rocksteady are in there, Leatherhead's in there, and then off to the side there's a little license plate that says F-Toyd, and they were able to put Fugitoid in there. And I was like, that's so cool, man. Stuff like that is just super, super cool. And Fugitoid #1, that's another cool book that I'm definitely going to be looking to get next year too. That was a character that they really, really were banking on and never really took off. But it was still a pretty cool idea. You know, his origin story was really cool too. So,
Gook's another one of those Mirage, things.
oh
that they
yeah.
have. Yeah.
Yeah, they had the advertisement in the back of #1, I think, didn't they?
I think you're right. My
And then-
#1 still sitting at CGC. Come on,
Oh.
CGC. With it.
I didn't get to send mine with the rest of my books, but hopefully,
Have you got your
I'm
Dustin,
gonna
is
have-
it in your hand yet? Is the #1 in your hand yet?
no, Nick hasn't gotten to pick it up from Josh yet, but Nick's picking it up Wednesday, and then he'll be here Wednesday night. So hopefully Thursday, when I see him, I'll have it in hand.
So are you going to run like a little schoolgirl? You're meeting her love of her life through the daisies, and Nick thinks you're going to hug him, and you're actually going to hug the turtle.
Right?
You know Nick's gonna do some crap to you. Like,
Oh yeah, he
dude.
keeps playing
Oh,
off. I wouldn't be surprised if he waits until Saturday to give it to me.
bro, like,
Yeah.
Vincent, I want to run your show, but I think we should address Scott's comment right now. I think that's a good comment.
Which one do you think you talk about? April?
So, who's your favorite live iteration of April O'Neil?
That's hard because the nostalgia factor says the original, but
Which one's the hottest? Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
like that's a whole nother thing, like, because I would totally like shoot Machine Gun Kelly in the head right now if I had a chance with her. I mean,
I don't know. It's been a long time since I've seen the second Turtles movie, and I've never seen the third one, the goo or whatever.
oh no, I'm not even. I'm talking about what's her name in the new Michael Bay movie?
You're talking,
Megan Fox.
you're talking,
Megan Fox. Yeah, I'm talking Megan Fox. If we're talking about hotness, like you cannot.
we're not talking hotness. We're talking
Oh.
what's your favorite?
Oh, wow.
I would have to say original April O'Neil. I think Megan Fox did. I don't know.
I just.
I
Like,
don't think Megan Fox is that
Judith
great of an
is
actress.
like-
I'm just gonna throw it out there.
She wasn't
Like,
hired for acting ability, though, Vincent.
no, she wasn't hired, and honestly, like
She didn't fit the bill either.
she didn't
Yeah.
fit the bill, and
But
I don't
Michael
know.
Bay, he loves having Megan Fox in those movies. So
which is interesting because apparently, like previously, from hearing rumors and everything about Hollywood, like we give two shits about what's actually happening, but apparently there's like a lot of like ups and downs between her and Michael Bay through like Transformers movies and all this other kind of shit. So I don't know. I don't care. I think as far as like the character goes, original April, you can't be original April. So
But
what are
I
you saying you got to see already, Ryan, and can confirm it's real? What are you talking about? You
he's
gotta
saying-
be careful with this
seen
guy.
your book. I think he's seen your book, bro.
Oh yeah, he did. He sent me a picture holding it. That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. Yeah.
That's what-
I wouldn't
Okay.
be surprised if Nick plays off like he didn't pick, because he keeps saying, I'm not picking it up. I'm not transporting that book all the way to Georgia. I'm not doing it. But
So Panda goes goes Judith. I go Paige as my favorite April.
Okay.
I gotta see #2 because I remember fairly like a little bit of the number 2 movie. I like the fact that they go back into feudal, Japan, which was pretty sweet back in the day.
Turtles 3, bud.
Don't let IDW lie to you. This is the first appearance of Toka and Rezar in comics.
Yeah.
And it's trash art.
And Vanilla Ice, first
hate
appearance
the
in
dog.
comics.
I hate the dog art too much, but I can't. I have that
Yeah,
book.
it's
It's
bad.
trash.
It's
I have a different cover, but
All right, guys. This is going to be the stopping point for us tonight. I got to
yeah, it's 11 o'clock. I got to be up at 4:30.
yeah. I just want to say thanks, you guys, for stopping by, hanging out, talking turtles. Appreciate you guys coming back on. Dustin, Greg, thanks for stopping by. Jason coming by for the first time.
Oh, you want to show toys? Is that what you're trying to show?
Thanks for stopping by, Jason. I appreciate it. Why don't you guys talk about who you is, what you're up to, and what you got going on here, and where we can find you.
Well, Mikey approves for this message. But yeah, so Southern Comic Geek, same on Instagram, just all one word. Doing a 600 subscriber giveaway right now of a New Mutants 98. If anybody wants to figure out how to win, go check out my videos. It's really simple to win, and it involves subbing up to new to you YouTube channels that are related to comics or pops. And so, but it's real simple. Check out my videos for that.
Awesome. Greg, you're up next. Who is you? Where we can find you? What you got going on?
Bearded Comic Bro. Find me on Instagram, Twitter, the YouTube. Bearded Comic Bro. Monday night, dropping my new series talking about the Amalgam comics. Wednesday night, I am dropping creator interviews. And then on Friday nights, tune in. The Mrs. Bearded hops on and we do episodes of Name That Character. And in 3 episodes, we're going to do a special giveaway just related to Name That Character show, not to the Bearded Comic Bro channel, but to that show. It's going to be hilarious and fun. It's all about laughing and having a blast. That's what I do. And then every once in a while, I'll still be throwing in some unboxings because that's kind of what I started to do with YouTube. I've just kind of shifted away to other content. So if you're subscribed to me because of unboxing videos, you'll get one every once in a while. Sorry.
All right, Dustin, here's your chance. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I give you the face of the Two Brothers Comics channel.
Oh, hey, Justin Birch.
That's all we see is the face of the channel with a killer background. Who is you? What do you do? What you got coming up?
So I just subscribed to Bearded Comic Bro and to Vincent McLean, the Comic Machines channel. So I should get 2 entries, right, Jason? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, Two Brothers Comics, at the number 2 Brothers Comics on Instagram. Tomorrow we'll be dropping our top picks. It's coming in a day late. Usually every Monday we drop our top picks for New Comic Book Day. We're going to be starting our brand new FOC videos that will be dropping weekly on Tuesdays. Those will be coming out, those will be coming out on Wednesdays. We have our New Comic Book Day live streams every Wednesday night at 7:15. Saturday nights, 9:35 Eastern Standard Time. We do a little show that where we hang out, and it's called the Saturday Night Comic Book Babylon. We do a top 10. We talk about the stuff we picked up, comic book news. We have a toy box segment, all that stuff. So we're about to do a 2,000 subscriber giveaway, I think. So yeah, just go check us out.
Awesome. So that's pretty much everybody around the table. There's nobody else in backstage. I want to give a shout out to Adrian Panda Awesome. He was going to be the other guy that was going to be on here today. Unfortunately, he kind of fell down with a bit of a, voice issue, and he sounds like Christian Bale from Batman. So just want to give a shout out, Adrian Panda Awesome. Go check out his channel. He just passed 300 as well, doing a giveaway. I think he announce a giveaway winner too as well.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he announced it. So make sure you guys check that out. Subscribe. Adrian's going to be on next time whenever his voice is up and running. So that's pretty much all I got for you guys today. Vincent McLean, the Comic Machine. I'm here. This is the Monday Night Jibber Jabber. Thanks for stopping by. You guys have a wonderful night. I'll catch you next time.
Adios.